You are struggling because you believe everything your mind tells you. So we all have this critical inner voice. And the worst thing about this critical inner voice is that we don't even realize that we have it most of the time. And even when we do realize that we have it, we don't realize how bad it actually is. Our critical voice is so normalized. The things that it says are considered acceptable and not considered cruel or mean. But the truth is that that voice is cruel and it is mean, even if the things that it's saying don't seem to be so bad. You have to understand that your body and your mind and your spirit and your energy field internalizes that voice as criticism. So what does that voice sound like? For some people, it is a very harsh voice that says, you're stupid, you screwed up, you'll never get this right, you're not capable of doing anything, you have no gifts, you have no talents, you're always going to be broke, you're just this constant ramble of things that are hurtful and painful. But some people have a voice that's not so obvious. Some people have a voice that says, oh, you shouldn't have done it that way, or can't you think of a better way of handling that, or why do you always do this? And again, those don't seem like obvious, cruel, or mean things to say, but your body and your mind and your spirit and your energy field all absorb those the same as being blatant and saying you're an idiot. So it's important for us to understand that that voice runs all day long. If you pay attention to what it's saying all day long, it's usually criticizing, questioning, judging, doing all of those things that feel like little jabs to your system all day long. And this is why when we go through periods of time where the mind gets really active, people start to feel like they're going crazy because that voice accelerates. It becomes more frequent. It becomes louder. It's so important. If I had to give you one thing that is the most important thing for you to understand and to help yourself reverse, it would be the critical inner voice. Because as long as that voice is running, you're going to be dealing with the consequences of it. Anything from low self-esteem to eating disorders and addictions and getting into bad relationships and self-sabotage and financial issues, and every single thing that you can experience as a sort of negative on this planet is usually due to that critical inner voice. So, knowing what you know now about how sensitive you are, we are all sensitive to that kind of self-talk. What can you do to help yourself not only spot the inner voice, but to help it and retrain it so that it's not hurtful anymore? Well, the first thing you have to do to spot it is to just listen. You have to listen, sit in silence for a while and listen to the things that your mind says to you. And you don't even have to sit in silence for that to happen. Do something wrong. Make a mistake. Sit there and do nothing. And see what your inner voice has to say to you. Because I know without a doubt in my mind that the minute you screw something up or you're not doing what you think you should be doing, that voice is going to come up. So recognize it, write it down, keep track of them, because it helps train you to notice them. And some people don't want to notice them because it's painful, or they think it's painful. It doesn't have to be painful. All you have to do is, once you realize that it's happening, you have to separate yourself, your true self, from that chatter in your head. And you have to say to yourself, this is not me. This is not part of me. This is a habit. This is something I was taught. This voice is not me. So that's the second thing you have to do. You have to make the separation between the real you and the voice of criticism, of, judgment. And then the last thing you have to do is you have to talk back to that voice. And you have to start training yourself in the opposite way. Anytime you hear the voice make a criticism or make a judgment against you, you have to say, actually, I did that exactly right. Actually, I'm learning, and it's okay to make mistakes. And you have to keep doing that. You have to keep catching yourself, and you have to keep reversing it. And again, this is another thing that you have to do over time. But if you start now and you pay attention and you give yourself that care, put some time aside every day just to sit and notice how much you're beating yourself up all the time. And then give yourself the reassurances that you need. And even when you're not noticing the thoughts and the things that you're internalizing, you can still every day start your day with positive words to yourself, reassuring words to yourself, encouraging words to yourself. Because when you do that, you start to quiet the other voice. The louder you get with your self-acceptance, the quieter the judgmental voice becomes. And eventually, with enough practice, you not only spot it easier, but you learn how to talk to yourself in a new way, and you set yourself free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.